Connecticut.
I'm here. So, this is the part where I share a little information. Let me get I took notes, so let me take it out. Okay. 9-5. That was a good year. So, New York, Connecticut, Jersey. I want to be serious for a second. I'm a fan of Pete. I want to let you know that I kind of sat with it for a little while because it's not something I really wanted to do, right? And I want to say this is a person that I know y'all are trying not to keep a straight face, and I'm being very honest. This is a person that I love and respect. And I know when you hear me joking and you hear me throwing my little darts and stuff, you know, I'm being entertaining, but I want to be so official in my, he hurt my feelings at first. I want to really reel this in a little bit because I considered him a friend. He's a person who's a producer, a radio DJ, an artist, and things of that sort. So, and I'm a huge fan of his music, a huge fan of his music, and I was disappointed. And then I was gonna just scrap with him in his comments, and then he feels like he wants to take it further and say what a rotten person I am and a DJ and this, that, and I'm taking payola and everything. So he wanted to give his opinion of me on his platform, and now I'm taking my platform to give my opinion of him. So this is a guy, I think he referred to himself as working at WBLS Hot 97, right? Let's first clear that up, my friend. It was Marley Marl's show. You are Marley Marl's son. You never talk about him. You never big him up. You learned everything that you do from Marley Marl. Okay, let's start there. And you were on the radio, and it was cute. This was 1990, my brother. No, I'm sorry, 88, 89. You were on the radio 32 years ago. 32. Let me tell you. 32 years ago, you were on the radio. 32. You think things have changed just a little bit since then? No, right? You don't think so, right? I know you don't. 32 years ago, you're on the radio. And you produced a ton of songs, a ton of records, and a ton of things. A ton of good records. No, iconic, great records. Including yours in your album. But you know what I found out about you, my brother? You didn't write those verses. Grand Poobah wrote all your verses on your album. And CL Smooth wrote your verse on Down with the King. My phone is lit. That also makes you a fraud, my friend. So you say that you want to upkeep hip-hop, and you were all for hip-hop and preserving the culture, but you didn't write your own bars. You, my friend, are a buffoon. So, what year was I in? 1990? 92? 93? 92? 30 years ago. So, you put out an album, an amazing album, by the way, which you didn't write your bars. I'm sorry, Grand Poobah wrote your album bars, and CL wrote your bars on Down with the King. That was the best verse of your life. You didn't even write it. This is so crazy. A lot of history lesson here in New York. I did my homework because this boy wants to go. We gonna go. Okay. You end up doing a whole lot of remixes. But your friend DJ Eddie F is the one that put you in power. all of those remixes you got were really for Eddie F. He passed them to you. Now you're suing him. This is crazy. Allegedly. That's what I heard. This is so crazy. And Eddie F. put you on. Heavy D wanted to go in the studio with you. Rest in peace. And you wanted the money up front out of his album budget before you gave him the beats. You remember when you fell out? That's so crazy. But you want to uphold the culture. And I'm not upholding the culture. Is that correct, my friend? If you did not make that album with CL Smooth, the Carmel King, with the golden voice, and he has an amazing radio voice. That's the only people wanted beats or remixes from you, my friend. Okay? Which I can't believe that's how you're getting down, my brother. So you're suing Nas. Who else he's suing? He's suing Eddie F. Eddie F is Heavy D's DJ from Heavy D and the Boys, New York, who was and will continue to be very important in the music business. And he put that buffoon on. Now he's suing him. Fast forward. Where do I... Oh, remixes. You're doing a lot of remixes in production, my brother. But you know what you forgot since you were a little stupid? When you did those remixes, you took the money up front. You didn't do your royalties. You didn't do any royalties for those. So now when you hear those spinning on the radio and you see it on Apple and Spotify and what's the other one called? Tidal. Sorry, Jay. I'm sorry. I'm not. Man, I apologize again, man. Now when you see it on those places, you don't get any money for it. That's why you're so upset. Because your money's tight. You remember, let me make sure, you remember when you were calling my office, let me turn the music down, and begging me to play at the tunnel? Did you forget that, man? Did you forget that, bozo? No, you couldn't have forgot that. No. New York City, I'm going to share a couple other things with you. Mister, do you remember when the YGs took you to the ATM machine to take out that money for them after they beat you up? Do you remember that, when they took you to the ATM and made you take out your card and take your money? Do you remember when you were at that Nothing But Love cookout and they beat you up in front of that cookout? No, I'm sorry, that was 2-5. 2-5, that was 2-5. You remember you were talking to his baby mama? You remember they beat you up in the park? You didn't forget that though, did you? No. No. You remember when the YGs took your chain and your watch? Punk. You want to play with me with this? You want to play with social media? You want to play? You want to talk? You upset? You mad at me? You know what bothers you the most? When you go to my gram, you see me coming out those cars and you see me in those clubs. That's what's bothering you. So I take money to play records? Go to my social media. You think I need a little 2,500 from some of these bozo rappers? You think I need that money? Huh? You think... And now listen, New York. What was it, Chemical Bank they took you to the ATM? What bank they took you to? Now, New York City, back then, you could only take out $500, so it wasn't about the money. It was about them knowing to let you know that you were a punk. That's why they took you to the ATM. Because it was only $500, but they wanted you to know that you were a punk. Oh, no, I'm not done yet. No. Nah, I'm not done yet. You also like the police. Yeah, you do. Oh, gosh, I skipped a couple years. Oh, so 90s, right? Yo, you're hot. I'm going to play a record, New York. I'm going to tell you the exact time that you were out of business and no longer relevant. Give me a second. I want to play a song for you. Because this song should explain what happened to your career. Give me a second. This is the song. This song right here is the reason you, sir, were finished, no longer mattered, and weren't relevant.
Yo, Mac, I don't even understand.
See this right here?
You in that Mary joint.
See it? You see it?
Robotic, futuristic, George
Oh, let me.
Jefferson.
You hear it, right? Ooh, you remember this, right? You remember this? You remember?
Come my batter, got the data, turn your body into anti.
You finish.
And just like a piece of sizzling,
You finish.
my stomach with the eggs and grits between.
Wrap it up.
The king is what I mean.
Wrap it up.
And get a cup and put some change inside your hand.
Give me those jewelry.
Let's make this official.
So New York City, the reason why he hates Diddy so much is because when that song came out, was that 93, 94? Somewhere in there, you no longer mattered. Your beats became garbage. And you mad at Puff Daddy because he changed the game, so now you want to attack him, taking his name, taking whatever. He didn't take nothing. Okay there, bozo? Nah, I'm not done. I'm gonna get to the police in a minute. We covered. Let me see. What did I cover? I covered CL Smooth is the reason that you even exist. Because if you see what you should have learned, like DJ Premier and Gangstar and Run DMC and Mobb Deep, is those producers always gave the best material to their groups. You, bozo, gave it out as remixes to be spiteful. See? And then what happened now, 2022? Guess who's broke? You want to sue the people that helped you, like Nas and DJ Eddie F. That's who you want to sue, right? What did I cover? I covered that you're a terrible nightclub DJ. I covered that. You were sweating me, calling me at the tunnel. I'm just looking at my notes, man. Just looking at my notes, big bro. I covered you getting beat up. ATM. Oh, yeah. The ATM. That's right. You went to the ATM. Like a punk. That's right. He took your money. How did you... Yo, my brother. How did you feel them... Did you get in their car to go to the ATM? Did you ride in separate cars? Did they walk you to the chemical bank? Tell me what happened when the YGs did that to you. The YGs were signed to Eddie F. That's another group from his neighborhood. You know that I know that you had to move out of Mount Vernon because they kept beating you up, right? You know that, right? You know I know. New York City, I live 10 blocks from him. 10 blocks. You know they were, so when you were in the car, were you in their car? Were you in the front seat? Were they smacking you in the back of your neck? What were they doing? What were they saying to you on the way to the chemical bank for you to put your card in and take out your money and give it to them? Did they ride you back home? Did you get back in the car with them? Did you buy them something to eat? Did you? You didn't do that, did you? Punk. So New York City, this guy also went to the precinct on CL Smooth. His partner that he's known for 30 years went to the precinct, filled out a report, went on record. the police came to arrest CL. Due to a technicality, they couldn't arrest him. He did this in the UK. He did not care if this guy, CL, was put in a jail overseas where the rules are totally different from New York. He went to the precinct, filled a report, cooperated, and I'm going to tell you something, man, and I'm going to just say this the best way I can. Sometimes when a person has a partner and knows, hey, man, they might pull him over. He may have something in that car. They might go up in that apartment and they may know where you keep stuff. And then they send the police to your house. What type of guy is that? And you talk to me about the game and integrity. You have none, my friend. You have zero. Don't you ever, you hear me, bozo? And let me send another shot for anybody else in our demographics or peers or came up when we came up, or if you're in my same age bracket. For some reason, some of you bitter crabs in the barrel that came up when I came up years ago, you like to whisper and talk. Well, listen, you jump out and you get some of this social media smoke. I ain't the average. And none of you dudes is gonna rip down what I built. Just cause you're home bitter in your basement, strung out on drugs and brown liquor. Just cause some of you DJs don't book no more. Just cause some of you rappers can't sell no units no more. Don't bark up my tree. I'll turn your lights off and ruin your career. And I'm dead serious and I'm tired of it. Every one of you that come along, I'm going to get to you one by one. I ain't to be played with. You want to play social media? We'll play social media. Conway the Machine learned his lesson. I shouldn't have said that. We're trying to make up. I'm sorry, Conway. That was rude. I'm sorry. Oh man, why'd I do that? We're gonna do a song that we're gonna premiere next Thursday. If anybody knows Conway the Machine, you tell them. Now Conway, you don't have a deal, so I guess if I play this and we start getting crazy and you get a deal, you gonna send me? You gonna tell me thank you? I just want to double check. Okay. Back to the snitch. Now, it's not my fault. I have made a decision, New York. I like new hip hop. I like the new music. I like what people make. I like songs that move the club. I am not an A&R and I'm not a label owner. My job is to play the heat. And what I do is I find the good records and I play them. The word is called hip hop. Emphasis on hip. If you are 45 to 50, there's nothing hip left in your body to rhyme about. Now, let me be specific though. You can be 40 to 50 and make great songs for your fan base. I love that. I love people who do that. Artists should do that all the time. I like to DJ for my fan base, and I play on this radio for my fan base. I never take a penny to play songs. I love what I do. This is my dream job. And Pete, I don't dislike you, my brother. I respect you so much. And I know that sounds weird in this whole thing, but I can't let you, I'm not letting you come out and don't try to swipe me and then run back and hide, bro. I'm not the guy. You're picking the wrong. I know Puffy didn't say nothing to you last week because he respects you. Nas hasn't said anything to you because they respect you. Eddie F hasn't said anything to you. He respects you. And I respect you too, but you're trying to work your way up the ladder and tear down people that came up with you, bro, and helped you. I didn't help you, but they helped you. You chose to do radio. You want to be underground bandit, play a bunch of underground records, and eventually you didn't exist. Me, I used to be an underground DJ. I chose to be more mainstream. That's what I want to do. I will never run from or hide from it. So let's just keep this nice, move forward. Stop letting people take you to the chemical bank, to the ATM. That's not clean. Stop getting beat up in the park in Mount Vernon at the Nothing But Love picnic. It's not cool. Okay? Stop testifying, too. We got a lot of things to work on before tomorrow. I hope you wrote this list down. Okay? I know you're bitter. And I know you're broke. You're probably going to stay bitter and broke. I wish I could end this with saying we should be friends, but we can't. And I'm going to tell you something, man. And I'm going to give you some real talk, my brother. Your guy, CL Smooth, is a stand-up guy. You know why? He wouldn't say nothing about you. Over the years that I've known him, he's never said a bad word about you. Continues to not. If he would have shared this information years ago, he would have exposed you. And listen, you testified, I'm sorry, you were at the precinct in 2017. You, sir, you know what you are. 2017, you were down in the precinct, okay? 48 hours style. And let me tell you something, my brother. If it wasn't to that guy on them records, because that's what made you. And you know what that brother wants? An apology from his friend. Keep it I'm going to keep it so 100 with you. He wants an apology from his friend for trying to get him in jail in the UK. Now, I don't know what those guys wanted you with you at the chemical bank, at the ATM. I don't know if you could apologize to them because that 500 wasn't enough. Those guys aren't happy.